Hey beautiful souls, I hope that you're all doing really well. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today's pick a card reading we're going to be doing a general reading for the month of December 2025. So these are not predictions per se of what's going to happen for you. They're more so messages about the energy surrounding you at the moment and what it is that you need to be made aware of, because time is an illusion and energy is fluid, so things can change very quickly or not change in accordance to your energy and how you're feeling about your inside world, okay? Because the inside is a reflection of the outside. Before I show you the 3 different images that you have to choose from for your reading, I'll just do some quick admin. If you would like to get a personal reading with me, you can find all my details in the description box below. If you'd like to leave me a tip, you can find my PayPal below. If you'd like to check out my social media platforms and follow me on there, you can find all the details below as well. You can also support my channel by subscribing to my channel, giving the video a thumbs up if you've enjoyed it, and please feel very free to leave feedback and comments below in regards to your reading, what your thoughts were, any experiences you've had, and anything that you want to share that's of course positive and constructive, because we like to keep a nice positive vibe here with these readings. So without any further ado, beautiful souls, I'm going to pause the video and I'm about to show you 3 different images for your readings. Okay, so here are the 3 different images that you have to choose from for your reading, remembering that this is a general reading for the month of December 2025. If you need a little bit more time to kind of feel through which card is for you, I will get you to pause the video because I'm about to start the readings. Hello pile 1, or for those of you who chose this card, stress, this is your reading. Please remember that time is an illusion and energy is fluid. It's really important with these readings. So stress, I'm going to be brave enough to say that a lot of you are probably feeling quite stressed at the moment. I feel like this stress is quite cyclical as well, as in I feel like this has been stress that's been felt for a while, and I feel like this stress has been particularly prominent over the last month. I feel like a lot of you are really burnt out. And I feel like some of you really just need to have a good cry if you haven't yet already. But let's get into the reading. I'll just leave that there. So we have 2 major arcanas in here. So lots of karmic lessons that have been brought up in order for you to learn from them and challenge yourself to kind of move forward and not have to keep having to felt challenged by the same lessons time and time again. So to start off with the Fool and the 7 of Swords, in the month of December, I feel like for a lot of you, you're stepping into something really new. You're on a new adventure. There's something new happening for you in your life. And with the 7 of Swords, I kind of get this feeling that some of you, it hasn't really kind of been made clear just how new this cycle for you or this new adventure is, and I feel like maybe some of you have been kind of holding back a little bit with really trusting the process with this or enjoying it for what it is, because there's a lot of joy in this card in the Fool. This is about really taking a leap of faith and starting from the beginning with whatever this is for you. But yeah, there's this feeling of kind of being in your head a little bit too much, maybe not being really honest with yourself about this, maybe not being honest with yourself in regards to the importance of starting new, having a new beginning. Maybe you don't trust this new beginning. Maybe there's things from your past that are holding you back a little bit. With this image here, I feel like I'm getting a message for some of you about something being a ticking time bomb. As in, I feel like for some of you, this has been this new venture that you're going into, whatever it is. I feel like it's something that's maybe really triggered you, and it's kind of like the ticking time bomb, I mean, is like more and more triggers. And I think this message is to say, just be really careful of overthinking this, because this energy is more kind of trusting the process and heart space energy here. Real new beginnings, where I think some of you are getting really stressed out about the new beginning here and what it's going to look like or how it's unfolding. I'm getting for a lot of you. And I feel like for some of you, this is like kind of like an eternal struggle, because I'm looking at the 8 here. It's a struggle where I think some of you struggle with new beginnings as well, and you're not being honest with yourself and with others about how it's really kind of affecting you. It can be a really positive new beginning, and it generally is with the Fool. So just take those messages as they resonate with you. With the 10 of Wands here and the 8 of Cups, there's been a lot of things that you've been holding on to that you really need to let go of. A lot of really like heavy energy where you feel, again, really burnt out. Like you've taken on a lot. This year has been a lot for you, like it has for everyone. And I feel like some of you are really, there's a message here about really needing to let go and move past disappointments that have come up this year, things that have not turned out the way you want them to, or things that have just felt like a big burden to you, right? For this particular group of people, I feel like there's been a lot going on for you this year, and you're in the midst of a new adventure. But there's still a part of you that really needs to let go of these burdens, which is easily said than done. But a lot of it is emotional stuff. It's emotional burdens, and it's really saying it's time to kind of like realize as well how these burdens that you've taken on, how much they're really affecting you, and how they can put you into this kind of somber mood where you're kind of just hoping things will get better, but this is really an internal struggle here, and it affects your mood. It affects how you see things on an emotional level. So the real crux of it here is to say, be aware of how burdens in your life and overworking and burning yourself out can affect your emotions, and that it's time to really step up to the plate and be aware of how this affects you, so that you can start moving past, you know, these emotional upsets or these things that haven't worked out for you with the 8 of Cups, right? So that you can move towards a place where you feel more fulfilled and you feel more stable emotionally, okay? Because at the moment you're not, but it's because you're just stuck in this place of feeling burnt out, overburdened, but it does affect you a lot. So there's big lessons here to be learned in that. This is beautiful. To end, we have the Ace of Cups and the Hangman. There's this new life force coming through for you, and this new opportunity with love, okay? And this could just be love for yourself, or it could be love for others, or just generally speaking, this is new energy around love and emotions. And I feel like for you, this is kind of like a life support I'm getting. It's an interesting image here. I feel like maybe some of you have been kind of waiting to enjoy things, because we've got the Hanged Man here, which is just kind of about waiting or like being in a limbo position, but it's about being able to see things from a different perspective as well. So I think once you start really trusting this process with this new adventure that you're going into, And because there's a new start here for you with something, or potentially a new start, but the lesson to be learned here is being honest with yourself, being honest with others about this new start as well. I think some of you are overthinking it, and I feel like for some of you kind of sabotaging this in a way, because you're overburdened, you're overworked, and you feel emotionally upset and distraught from this burnout, right? And so you're not feeling things clearly, you're feeling and seeing things through this burnt out energy. So there's this newness coming in for you that's being made available to you. So this is going to come through kind of reflection, and you just being able to really start learning to see things from a different perspective, rather than through an old lens of trauma or burnout or whatever you want to call it. Okay, so there's big lesson here about change, and there's a big lesson here about being able to see a different perspective, being able to really see when newness comes in and to be ready for it, and to not just, another message I'm getting is to not just feel like there's a right time for everything, because yes and no. I think sometimes we can wait too long to enjoy things because we get too caught up in other things, and so then we're not practicing like presence and consciousness. All right, so this is a word of advice from your higher self. We have the Page of Pentacles. So yes, being able to see things from a new perspective and a grounded perspective. And we've got the sun coming through here. So I feel like for a lot of you, towards the end of December, probably, or maybe just around Christmas or New Year's, you're really going to be able to, you'll really be starting to take on these messages and see the light and see how much growth that you've been starting to make, and how it's opening your eyes to this new world, right? Because the Page of Pentacles is about a new beginning in motion and new opportunities. But I'm being very driven to these two eyes, and it being an eye-opening experience for you. Your Oracle card is Wisdom. This is a beautiful card. So I really feel like with this, to me, this is really talking about eternal wisdom. And it's talking about, there's a big difference between wisdom and knowledge, right? Because knowledge is what we learn to then, when we apply knowledge, then it becomes wisdom in a way, right? And it's a place where we're kind of learning the lessons that we need to. There's this beautiful growth theme happening here with this flower coming out of this person's head. This is really a sign to give yourself space regarding your current situation as well. And this doesn't need to be permanent, but it's needed to discern whether you're going to continue giving your time and energy to what it is that you're going through. So this is, I think that's the biggest message I'm getting here, is to remember what it is that you've learned through your experiences and through these messages, and turn them into wisdom, turn them into a tool for you to start growing and ascending, is the biggest message I'm getting here. The new year is going to be quite different for you, is what I'm picking up as well. And it's going to be different in a very positive and constructive way if you can kind of allow this to happen as well. So pile one, I really hope you enjoyed your reading. Thank you so much for watching my video, and I will see you at my next reading. Lots of love and light to you. Bye, pile one. Hello, pile two, or for those of you who chose this card, Relieved. Welcome to your December 2025 reading. So the biggest message I'm getting here is I feel like a lot of you are really starting to come out of a very difficult cycle. And there's hope there, and there is relief coming for you. And I feel like you're already kind of probably feeling this, and if not, this is confirmation to say that there's relief coming. You're not going to be going through what you're going through to the intensity that you are for too much longer is the biggest message I'm getting for this entire reading. But let's get into it. Let's look at the tarot cards. So there's been a lot of spending time in your head and really kind of needing to rest, but you've been kind of doing a lot of inner child healing, I'm going to say, for this group. I think as children you felt, or as a child you felt like this image, you felt kind of maybe a bit kind of left out in the cold, or like you had to struggle in some way or another. And I feel like some of you have probably had some really, and please feel free to leave feedback and comments below. I feel like for some of you, you've been having really, really intense and vivid dreams, which are processing a lot of your kind of childhood trauma or the challenges and experiences that you had as a child. A lot of you have been spending a lot of time in your head, I think, as well, and maybe a little bit too much. But it's kind of been like a necessary evil in a way, because there's this whole rebirth happening for you is what I'm getting here. You're going to be connecting more to your, I feel like this is inner child work. You're really going to be connecting more with yourself or with like loved ones more than you ever have before. And I feel like you're going to be starting to really see the importance of being able to be vulnerable and to be able to allow others to support you alongside you supporting others as well. This image is really making me think of, you know, this being one of your caretakers or your mother or your father or whatever, and this being you, man or woman, it doesn't matter. But there's this real blend here of starting to realize the wholeness within you and like really looking after your inner child is what I'm getting here, because it's going to bring about more balance for you. You're going to feel more at peace, you're going to feel more balanced, you're going to feel more stable within yourself. This I really feel like represents an egg. So I feel like with this group, there's this whole rebirth happening for you. And it feels like it's been a long time coming. You're really going to be stepping more into your power at the end of the year. And I feel like you're really going to feel a lot more confident with yourself. You're going to feel more in control of how you see things as well. You're really going to be more in your power, and the biggest thing I'm getting is you're going to feel more confident. So you're going to be able to start kind of enjoying, you know, the end of year festivities or just life generally speaking, and your confidence is going to help you kind of enjoy the company of others is what I'm getting here. For some of you, there's 3 particular people in your life at the moment that are supporting this, or that you're going to be celebrating with. The message from your higher self, like word of advice from your higher self, is we have the Hierophant. So this is really talking about, I feel like for you, this is a time where you're really going to be really, for some of you, I think you have strong faith or belief system in something, or you're going to be starting to practice more a faith or a belief, and maybe even this is talking, I feel like this is really saying that whatever faith or belief that you have, this is going to become more prominent to you. And it's saying that whatever your faith or belief is, it holds a lot of power for you, and it helps you feel more grounded and at home. So remember to practice that faith, whatever that is, whether it's just simply, you know, trusting in the universe and the process, or trusting in yourself, or trusting in the divine, but knowing that you already hold a lot of kind of wisdom and knowledge within yourself. So it's about putting that forth and moving forward with it. I feel like this also kind of represents your higher self kind of welcoming you into the new year as well. It is a big message I'm getting here, and kind of congratulating you on all this work that you've been doing, because it hasn't been easy. Your oracle card I have is Presence. This is a beautiful card. So this really is just the importance of practicing presence for you guys is particularly important. I mean, it is for everyone, but especially for you. And I think if you're feeling really overwhelmed, it can be beneficial for you to focus on the now, you know, to take time to stop and enjoy what is before you is really important. And I think finding an activity that does not require projection into the future or the past, such as meditation, going on a walk, sweeping the floor, or doing the dishes, but picking one thing to do that mindfully incorporates your body, even if that one thing is actually doing nothing. Practicing presence is really important for you guys in particular. So pile 2, I really, really hope you enjoyed your reading. Please feel very free to leave feedback and comments below, and I will see you at my next reading. Bye. Hello pile 3, or for those of you who chose Joy, this is your reading. This has got some really interesting energy, powerful. So I feel like for a lot of you, you're wanting to feel joy, or you're starting to feel joy. And I feel like for some of you, December is a really joyful time for you. Maybe you're really into Christmas or just New Year's, or you're really looking forward to the new year. And I feel like some of you have been practicing really intentional manifestations for next year, which is really beautiful. Yes, this is nice. Let's get into the tarot. I feel like for some of you at the moment, you're really struggling with, or you're kind of holding back with being in your full power of confidence. I feel like for some of you, you're a little bit confused about how you feel about something or a particular situation, or even how you feel about yourself. And so you're in this place of feeling very, very vulnerable, and you're inadvertently really protecting yourself and your heart. But a big message I'm getting here is you don't need to overdo this. There's nothing wrong with kind of like having boundaries within yourself and knowing, being aware and knowing that you may be overprotecting yourself is really important. Because I feel like there's a big project, or there's something here that's here for the taking, or here for you to really enjoy. And I feel like you feel fairly confident with it, but some of you are still holding back with really enjoying what this is, and being in your power is the biggest thing I'm getting. Because I feel like a lot of you are feeling very vulnerable, like this little deer at the moment. And so you're feeling confused, and maybe kind of like these snakes where it's just a lot of things going on. With the 2 of Stones and the Seer clarifying, so you've got 2 major arcanas. This is really telling me that you're kind of trying to balance the way you kind of look at finances at the moment, or how you see money, or how you see kind of the way that you're living, right? And you're not trusting your intuition enough, because you're not feeling balanced enough. it's like you're too busy. You're too busy, and because you're too busy, your intuition is really blocked. And your lack of confidence and you trying to protect yourself too much is creating this imbalance within you, okay? Because there is room for balance there. There's no water here. So I feel like there's emotional elements missing here. Some of you are really holding back, and it's creating challenges for you as well with how you see things, and you're not seeing things quite clearly or clearly enough. With the Page of Stones and the Sun of Life, so this is a major arcana, this is beautiful. This is saying that I think if it makes it easier for you, there's nothing wrong with taking things a little bit slower. There's nothing wrong with being cautious, okay? But happiness here is here for the taking for you. And I feel like for a lot of you, this is going to be, as I was saying before, about really trusting heart space and being able to feel confident enough to not create too many boundaries around yourself. Because it's creating this conflict. It's creating this kind of like indecision in your head, or not, as I said before, you're not able to see things clearly. So there's this new start for you coming in, and there's nothing wrong with taking your time, but just try to be open to this, okay? Try to be open to this. Try and ground yourself as much as you possibly can and spend as much time in nature. Two of Bows is a word of advice from your higher self. So I feel like you really have the power here to shift past whatever's going on for you here in December. You have the ability to make a decision, but I think for some of you, you're finding it really difficult, but you're going to really need to step into your power, challenge yourself, and make the decision that you need to with whatever is going on for you. You know, you're not going to make the wrong decision, but you probably feel like you might be, because your intuition is a bit off at the moment. Because I feel like for some of you, maybe you're feeling uprooted, as in like you're not feeling grounded enough. And so then you just kind of, there's just a lack of like there's a lack of feelings flowing, okay? And then yes, we have protection. So as I said before, there's nothing wrong with having boundaries. And it's not just about boundaries with other people, but it's also boundaries with yourself, and knowing when you need to kind of pull back, knowing when you need to rest, knowing when you need to trust the process, and knowing when you need to just kind of stop overthinking things, okay? That's the biggest message I'm getting here for you guys, because there's new opportunities coming in for the new year, and I feel like this is representing a portal for you to kind of go into. You've got to trust yourself a bit more as well, is another message I'm getting here. So pile 3, I really hope you enjoyed your reading. Please feel very free to leave feedback and comments below, and I'll see you at my next reading. Bye.